Now, before we get into today's video, prices have already broken out. This is an important video to watch through because I go through all of the indicators to show that it is about to break out and away it goes. The most important thing is at the end of the video when I talk about Bitcoin dominance and I show what's going on with altcoin market cap growth, and then I take a look at the bull market watch spreadsheet. This is a really important time to pay attention, and we can see it manifesting and unfolding up right in front of us here in Bitcoin. The same thing is setting up in the altcoins, so watch right to the end of today's video, or just skip right there. Monday morning, January 27th, 2020. You're probably waking up thinking the same thing as me. What's going on with my long positions in Bitcoin? What are the indicators telling us? What's going on with Bitcoin dominance? And what has changed on Binance with the altcoins? That's what we're going to go over in today's episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin. Let's jump in with the weekly RSI because this is pulling up now. It's not pulling back as it was. And as we go through this week, the angle that this continues to show us is going to be really important. If it continues to show us the uptrend angle as prices are taking out, this is the indication of the parabolic move increasing right from here. So we can see in the daily time frame, I like that the RSI has pulled back more deeply than the price, and it's given us a steady uptrend now. So with this trend line here, we can start marking out and watching for what is going on with this as a confirmation. Let's jump into the closer time frames and see what they're telling us. Again, this could be mistaken for a bearish divergence. The way that price is set up and the way that the RSI has pulled back. If we are now in the uptrend, we are getting ready for the baby moves to the upside. And here we are building on a new bottom in the RSI all the way along here. That would be the establishment of the bottom. So if the RSI does come back to this region, I'm still seeing this as pretty bullish setup here now. It's made a nice switch. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame because now we're getting into the point of the triangle where we did have this divergence that did call for the pullback and the retest, and we did get the 1, 2, 3 and the entry there. So you had to be pretty sharp on this entry. In the 1-hour time frame, I'm just watching this divergence, but I'm also treating it like a pullback and a ready to fling forward now, right? Pull back, fling forward, pull back, fling forward. And this is what I'm watching for. If it does break above these levels, that's the fling forward, and we'll probably be catapulting up above these at the same time. Let's scan our other indicators for confirmation on this now, because we do see this building up. We did see this building up before the last parabolic move. Let's zoom in on this now. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't so that you get that future episode. And check out some of the past episodes that we've gone over what to do with altcoins right now compared to Bitcoin dominance. Because Bitcoin dominance doesn't show you the whole story. So here we are watching this volume pick in, and as I'm zooming in on the time frames, I'm watching. This is good and steady volume now. That's been going on since January. This is really good. This is soaking up all the spare supply that is out there. Any doubters, anybody who thought it was going down, they've already sold their position. They're at a top here. And all of that supply is being soaked up on the positive side. And we can see it in the charts here. So we had a little bit of a dip, some fear there as we broke this 1, 2, 3 top. Very good, but we've got a 1, 2, 3 bottom now that supported it. Such great support zones, and this volume coming in is very bullish. I want to be mistaken on the side of bullish. When we hit this little panic zone, it stopped and it's turned into soaking it up again. A couple tests down, but right now this is showing me a good strength building up underneath here. Even these dips down, when we get into a closer time frame, it was a dip all right, but then there was a lot of buying soaking that any kind of panic that went on that. Everybody got soaked right up there. And now the weekly MACD has crossed positive. It's insane. That's really bullish to 20,000. That's really bullish. That's out of this park bullish. The daily has pulled back, and the histograms here, if we zoom in on the histograms, we can see that we got the deepest one here and it's pulled back. As this pulls back and then changes to positive, then what we're looking at here is a trend. This is our 1, 2, 3 bottom in the histograms as we're making this big turnaround in the historical price charts. It's pretty crazy. It's crazy bullish. It really is the halvening and all of the things that people are talking about are actually manifesting in the charts in a way that we are watching for to measure. The key thing again for me is that the altcoins are probably going to outperform Bitcoin, even as Bitcoin is going up here. So from this view, it's not so much the histograms that are giving us a bottom formation, but it's the continuing crosses to the positive here on the 12-hour. This is really huge as we're taking off from here. So let's go clear that off, go to the 4-hour time frame. Here, we're getting it easing back a little bit. So that lighter histogram is something to pay attention to. Where is the momentum? Here, the hourly crossed negative as we had that bit of a dip down, but as we saw in the volume, it really picked up into buying to cancel that selling out right away. And here again, we've got the 15-minute MACD coming to cross forward. Now, the MACD is going to work something like the relative strength index in that the shorter term time frames are going to come back and spring forward, now in the uptrend all the way along. So we can expect them as they're pulling back and we make this bottom formation. We're going to be springing forward and going up. In the longer term time frames, a little bit longer than this, where we'll see them go into parallel channels, while the longer term time frames stay parallel channels. So even the daily will oscillate on, and the weekly will give us the real mean direction of it. And since that's the case, and we're watching the short-term time frames oscillate towards jumping forward again, while the weekly is crossing forward, these are really key times. And it's not conjecture that this is key time. This is according to the technical analysis here on these charts. These are things we've been watching for and talking about for years. And they're all manifesting at the same time as we're watching it. So don't doubt it, but go small because it's going to get wild. Let's zoom in. We got the weekly is negative. We got the daily is decidedly positive in a bull market. We got the 12-hour is positive in a bull market, but this hasn't gone skinny yet to show us that we are really taking off. This red has to come right up against this and they go skinny as we're taking off. So long as this cloud is fat and sideways, that's where we're going. So here we are, more fat and sideways, back and forth within the cloud. It's all sorts of changing signals back and forth on the 4-hour until that 12 crosses back again. So the 1 hour is good. That's nice to see. The 15-minute is coming into the cloud where it's been up against a pretty skinny cloud there. Should that bounce up and continue off of this cloud, the 12-hour will cross and give us that buy signal again. When we get into Bollinger Band weekly, we can see that we're above this mean level. Let's zoom in to the daily time frame. We're moving up above this midline, holding up above this long-term exponential moving average. I think it's 200 period. Here, the 12 hours moving up above the midline as well. So the 4 hours up against this standard deviation, and I'm pretty much just watching what's going on in the Bollinger Band. It's not giving me anything except for right now that it's starting to narrow down into a narrow neck here that's giving us the indication that it could be getting ready for a bigger move. But we really didn't see it in the longer time frames. They were really calling for more sideways action. So here we saw this was clearly rejected and pulled up, but we are inside a little 1, 2, 3 top formation now. So this little wee top formation is going to fight against this larger 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And for me, the interesting thing is to see how this all plays out inside one bottom formation against another. So we have a very small top formation here. We have a little bit of a larger bottom formation. This is a top formation, and this whole thing is a top formation. But more than that, we have the big bottom formation here, and this is a pullback along the parallel channel trend and a potential for Bitcoin to be moving up on the parabolic move. So these are really amazing chart setups. It's phenomenal to be charting them out. But for me, the most amazing thing is what is coming up with Bitcoin dominance. We know that alts have been crushed down to oblivion over the last year and a half. And as they take off, we can see here, they move quickly. They're going to move quickly. And there's going to be a reason, and I'll explain that to you in a second. The most important thing is to notice that Bitcoin dominance is in a huge, huge top formation, and that when that 12-hour EMA crosses, we are in alt season. When it crosses back over again, it's time to reconsider. So we're watching it closely, but as this top formation breaks down below this level, there's important things happening, and we can see it over on CoinMarketCap. When we look at the total market capitalization and we look at just the last year, we can see that there's an uptrend. Things are bottoming out and things are picking up out of a bottom formation here, a continuation pattern building up. It's really beautiful. We can see that in the total market capitalization for the altcoins as well. A big bottom formation here, consolidation, getting ready to break out. When we get down to the percentage of total market cap, clean off everything and just take a look at others. That's an average of all of the altcoins. Look at this massive uptrend setting up here. You can see this is a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation right here. 1, 2, 3 bottom formation. And so when this takes off, it's going to go fast. And the reason is, as it breaks out above these levels, then people who are investment managers get the green light. They get to get on with the crowd. It's been proven now. I can get on. It's a bull market. For the rest of us, we want to know which coins are going to be in the bull market. And that's why we've put together the Bull Market Watch. It takes apart the data in Bitcoin dominance and it shows us specifically which coins are moving first, which coins are getting ready to move, and which coins are laggers and holding back. We want to load up our profile on those ones that are moving, and we want to have more on the ones that are moving biggest, and we don't want to be holding the coins that are not moving or those that are just stuck sideways because their project is maybe well intended. It may be a great business plan, but maybe it's just not going anywhere. Maybe they ran out of money. Maybe there's so many reasons that a business fails in the best of circumstances. We really want to put our money into a select group, and that's what this is showing us now on Binance. We have the opportunity as this 108 markets moves from neutral through alert status, and as they change to hold status, that is the moment to swing the bat. And if you miss it and they're already in hold status, you're getting in when it's much, much higher risk. So this is the time to be looking at these bottom formations as a precaution. We all know what happened if you would have put $10 into Bitcoin in about January of 2011. Bitcoin was, for easy math, it was about 25 cents each. So for $10, you could have bought 40 Bitcoin. Then all you had to do was be patient. You didn't have to jump up and down and do anything. It's the same thing with the altcoins right now. And so now you have the inside information about Bitcoin dominance. You see the global market cap charts building. We can see the bottom formation setting up. We can see that we are mostly in neutral stance right now, and we have an opportunity to be there when they go from alert status into hold status. This is the opportunity. This is the way to filter through them on a diversified way to get into altcoins when Bitcoin dominance is dropping, and to get back out of altcoins when Bitcoin dominance crosses and starts to rise again. We've got the data for you, and I'm super keen to share it with you. Head over to the website Introtocryptos.ca and check out the subscriptions. So in summary, our indicators are telling us that things are really building momentum for a strong move higher. As a review, we are going to get some of these kind of spikes pulling back, and it's going to be high danger. So keep your position sizes small, keep your stop losses correct, and be safe out there in this trading. Make a bunch in this bull market. We'll see you on the next episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin.